G. And there we go. Ah! Z. If I can hit.
And that's a win with the Shockwave rocket launcher. And alright, that was it for the gun challenge. From now on, I will no longer be working on this challenge, even though it was a lot of fun to work on in the past. It has gotten quite boring to me, especially since Chapter 5. I did not enjoy Chapter 5 much due to the bullet drop, and honestly, when Chapter 6 started, I wanted to give it another try, but it just didn't work. So yeah, it's gotten very boring to me. It's gotten more of a task than something that I actually enjoy doing, so I have decided to stop the gun challenge. And funny thing is, even if I wanted to continue it, I would not have been able to complete the mini-season. They added like 40 new guns, which I had to get within 1 month, which happened to be the most busy month in my life, so I would not have been able to do that anyway. So it kind of was the perfect timing for me to end. I'm still playing Fortnite a little bit. I still get to level like 200 or whatever the required amount is each season. But I'm just not focusing on the gun challenge anymore. And I'm not recording it anymore either. I do still hope that you all enjoyed the gun challenge. It was something that I have enjoyed for a while until at some point I kind of stopped enjoying it. Now there are a couple of guns that I had unfortunately missed out on. Of course there were a ton of guns that were added into the game before Chapter 2 Season 6 that never returned, like the bows, the crossbows. They never returned. Ah! So the crossbows, they never returned, and there are a couple of other guns like that, but there are actually a couple of guns that I missed out on whilst I was actually trying the challenge. One of those was the Stinkfish, which was last seen in Chapter 2 Season 6 and never returned. And in Chapter 2 Season 6, I had to choose which guns to get and not get, because I didn't have time to get them all. I thought, Stinkfish is a fish, surely it'll return. It never did. There's also the Mythic Suppressed SMG. While I did get the Inquisitor's Suppressed SMG, I didn't get the regular Mythic Suppressed SMG. I actually think that might have returned in some special game mode recently, I don't know. All of this has been done in regular Battle Royale though, or Zero Build or Ranked, but it's all been in the main, not OG or anything. The next gun that I missed was the Mythic DMR from Chapter 3 Season 3. I'm gonna be so honest, I do not remember the story. I'm just assuming that it probably got vaulted at some point and I was unable to get a win with it before then. You know, every season, at the start of new season, tons of new guns get released and I have to choose which one do I go for first, which one are gonna get vaulted first, and sometimes you just choose wrong. For instance, in the OG season, we had 1 month I needed to get about 26 gun wins, and so the double barrel and mounted turret weren't on my to-do list super quickly. I was gonna get them eventually, but they got vaulted before I unfortunately was able to get a win with them. And then there was the issue of the TAC SMG gold version, which was not available in chest, it was not available in drops, it was only available as floor loot, as a gold weapon. So yeah, I never managed to get that one, surprisingly. Surprisingly, that is actually all that I ever missed. Another couple missing ones that were just never in the game when I played were the Guided Missile, the crossbows as I talked about, the Scoped Revolver, Bottle Rockets, Boombo, the Burst SMG, the Storm Scout, Zapper Trap, Lever Action, and the Dragon's Breath Sniper. Never was able to get a win with those because they all got vaulted before I did my gun challenge. There are also a couple of kind of duplicates in this video. Dang it. For example, the Mythic Everchrome Burst Rifle I actually kind of won with twice. Once with the regular Mythic version, and once with the Herald's Burst Rifle version. It's practically the same gun, but they had different names, so I did them again, which I didn't do all the time. Like, I didn't get a win with, like, the 5 different Mythic Midas drum gun that there are. I don't know how many I did, probably 1 or 2, but I wasn't feeling like doing all of them with the Midas version, so I didn't. If I did guns twice, it was basically only ever the mythics, so I didn't get too many doubles, but I wanted to mention them anyway, in case y'all had some questions about that. Now, what will be happening to this channel? I will be using this channel the way it was initially intended to be used, as a second channel, rather than a Fortnite dedicated channel. I will probably not be uploading or streaming on this for a while. I will still probably play Fortnite events whenever they happen, but I'm not going to be posting regular Fortnite content on this anymore. If I play other games, like, I don't know, for example, speedrunning challenges or something, I might do those on this channel, but don't expect too much Fortnite anymore on this channel. With all of that said, I really hope you enjoyed me doing the gun challenge over these years. If you did, be sure to use creator code Haxlar in the Fortnite item shop just once more. Maybe check out my main channel where I'll be streaming almost every day, and otherwise, I'll see you guys again next time. And that's a win with the blue minigun, which I'd already done.